another cup of tea with Stephen. Well, it's been quite a week with Tom Daley winning gold. It's great that United Kingdom got something to be so proud of. The two boys, him and Matt, have just done a sensational job. Tom has been an inspiration to so many LGBTQ people, and especially among the young, who look at Tom and see someone not only successful, that's out there. Every day someone wakes up in this country frightened to be who they are. And if they look at Tom, truly is an inspiration. Now, I'm lucky enough today to be joined by someone that's a friend of mine. He has also been a great inspiration to so many, and myself, and you're going to love him. He's fun. It's Mr. Fabulous Jay Kamiraz. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, darling. How are you? I've got my cup of tea ready.
Oh, bless your console. Oh, that's a lovely cup.
Thank you. It's just a little Japanese-inspired cup, and I thought it matches what I'm wearing today. I thought I'd bring you some sunshine, babe.
Jay, you look fabulous. Jay, what did you think of Tom Daley and Matt winning gold yesterday?
I think it was amazing. Do you know, I had no doubts that they were going to win. You know, these boys have been training for so long, and I just love their commitment to their, you know, to their sport. And I just knew that they were going to represent our country, and that they were going to come back with the gold. So I'm really, really proud of them.
I mean, do you think that LGBT athletes are being more accepted?
I think athletes are more accepted than footballers, for example. We are still yet to hear of a professional Premier League footballer come out, you know, openly as gay. I think there's still a massive taboo attached. I think it is getting a little bit easier because people like Tom Daley has kind of like pioneered the way forward for like athletes. So in that retrospect, I think we've got a long way to go, but you know, baby steps. It's happening, but I don't think it's happening soon enough.
Jay, on the downside, homophobia is still rife. There's been attacks in Liverpool recently, and chokes me up. Samuel Luis in Spain was murdered only a few weeks back. Last words he heard was "faggot" before he died. You have your story and could easily have been killed yourself and not here today. I'd love you to share the story with everyone because it moved me when I heard
it. I'm glad you actually mentioned that, Stephen, because, you know, I've just recently done a short film where I talk about my life and what happened, and it's still, you know, these homophobic attacks are still happening, and it's rife, and young men, women that, you know, all over the world are being murdered for just being themselves. And to touch on my past, when I was 17, you know, I got attacked by, you know, it was 7 Asian men. And, you know, it was so brutal and horrific, you know, that I needed, you know, life-saving surgery to save my life. Now, had I not have had that surgery, I would not be here talking to you, Stephen, or helping encourage and empower people with my story. And I think it's so important. We need to let people know that this needs to stop. You know, I mean, I was one of the lucky ones that survived to get to tell my story, but others, they have not survived to tell their stories. And people like myself and others who have been in a similar experience, who have had homophobia being directed towards them, we need to stand up and we need to voice that this needs to stop.
Jay, I think we need to go back a little bit here because you need to tell people to really appreciate. You skipped over. You were attacked by 7 men. You know, could you tell them? Can you give the background of what has actually happened?
So basically, I was signed to a record label, and the Asian community, especially the Muslim community, you know, don't really appreciate or value anybody that wants to kind of lead a creative lifestyle. And I was one of them that was, you know, wanted to lead a creative lifestyle. I wanted to sing. I had a record deal. And one day I was coming back home from actually it was a singing lesson with my record deal company. And I was cornered by 7 Asian men. They were heckling, calling me names. I couldn't run because there was 7 against 1. And it was an unprovoked attack purely because one, they didn't like the fact that I was leading a creative lifestyle. And secondly, in their eyes, I was, I was camp, I was gay. But the funny thing is, Stephen, I was 17 and I really was still discovering who I was. So, being gay or knowing I didn't even know my identity, but for some reason they've made up their mind that this is who I am and we need to stop him. And then the attack happened, and I was in hospital back and forth, trying to recuperate and recover.
How long did you spend in hospital, Jay?
It was over a year and a half.
Jeez.
And even till this day, I still have issues with my especially my stomach area, because every now and then I will have a little bit of pain there. The pain, some of the internal injury has never left. I have scars, which when I look in the mirror, that remind me of that horrific day.
You mentioned the Muslim community. I mean, I hate to ever put anything in a box, but so many people instantly hear Muslim community think anti-gay. Is this the case, do you think, that most of the Muslim community are anti-gay?
I think the majority are anti-gay. I mean, when I was growing up, I grew up in a Muslim-orientated family. I am no longer Muslim because I was disowned by my faith, and I was thrown out as such by my faith.
Yeah.
And then I've now found my salvation and my spirituality now through Buddhism. So and I'm in a happy place. Nevertheless, I do feel like the Muslim community still have a long way to go to understand and accept people like myself.
Absolutely. Now, do you think as an LGBT community we're kind to each other?
That's a good question, Stephen. I don't think we are kind to each other. I think there is, I think certain members within the LGBTQI community are very shallow, are very judgmental of our own kind. And I think that needs to change, because we have been fighting for so long to be visible, to be represented, to feel equal, that you then find yourself within your own community. There's hate, there's bigotry, there's abuse, and I always say you need to fix that first within your own community, and then move on together.
Do you think because when people talk about the gay scene, right, the first port of call for many gay people is the pub. They go to that gay bar. Do you think if we, as a heterosexual, you perhaps meet at college, or the first, do you think that's a healthy environment to kick off with?
I think any environment is okay. I just think it's important. It's who you have around you, because people are a massive influence. If you're young and you then fall into a circle of or a peer group of people that do nothing but judge others, then you it brushes off on you. Yeah. And so I always say, find your circle, find your tribe, but make sure that they are good people that appreciate and value others.
You were questioning Tipping Point the other month. You popped up. I fell over. Tell us about how come you became because it's one of my favorites.
The funny thing was, Stephen, I was actually sat having my cup of tea, watching Tipping Point. Now the thing is, I don't usually watch it, and the question came up, and it took a few seconds to register. I'm like, they're talking about me. My tea just came out of my mouth. But at the same time, it was a nice little surprise, because it just validated that what I'm doing and how I'm building my profile is going in the right direction. And I'm a question on Tipping Point. So that says something.
Tell us all about, obviously the question was about All Together Now, which is one of my favorites.
It was about All Together Now, yes.
And be honest with, if you weren't on it, I wouldn't have watched it, because it was brilliant. I loved it. Is there going to be another series? Tell us all.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be another series. However, the format has been licensed and bought by many countries all over the world. So the format is doing very, very well all over the world. I mean, I was asked actually go to Brazil to do the Brazil version, but the thing is, I don't speak Portuguese, so hence I couldn't go out there. But nevertheless, you know, the short period that we had season 1, season 2, and we had the celebrity series, it was a great opportunity for me to showcase who I am as Mr. Fabulous, and it just allowed me to give me that little lift and profile, and you know, and it actually helped a lot for me to go on to do other wonderful things.
Yeah, and you have such a terrific voice. Now you've become you've got involved with Pink Ribbon charity. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, the Pink Ribbon Foundation is very close to my heart. You know, I will go above and beyond to do anything for them to help awareness or help people to donate to them. And you know, I was not expecting to be given a you know, a ambassadorship. You know, I was filming a short film that is coming out very soon, and the wonderful Lisa Allen from the Pink Ribbon Foundation was there at the filming, and during one of the takes, they came out with the certificate to award me as a new charity ambassador. I was very overwhelmed. I was in tears. I was. It was wonderful, you know, to feel validated, to know that what you're doing and the awareness that you're helping doing, that they appreciate you. And I'm proud to be a male charity ambassador for the Pink Ribbon Foundation, because there is a small percentage of men that are affected with breast cancer. And so it's important to be able to share that with people. And also from a mental health point of view, you know, we as men have sisters, mothers, you know, who may be going through a situation where they might be affected with breast cancer. So it does affect us.
It's a great word, isn't it? I mean, you don't have to have a cancer to be involved with a cancer charity. You know, you don't have to be poor to be involved with a poor charity. So you know, you're so right. But you and David shot to fame. The whole thing, the Hungry House adverts. I mean, was it strange becoming famous overnight for an advert?
It was very odd, because it was actually Dave's first audition, and the thing was, I told him to switch his phone off during the audition process, but he for some reason he forgot, and the camera during the casting was left on, and his phone rang, and it was an insurance company calling him, and I didn't realize that the camera was rolling, and we started to bicker like cat and dog, and I was telling him off. And the funny thing was that the casting directors absolutely loved the bickering between us, and the interaction between us, that they said, that's it, this is what we want. And we done the commercial, never expected it to be so huge and become like a cult following. But you know, it was lovely. It was wonderful while it lasted. There's a little jingle that everybody sings. You know, so yeah, you know, I would say I'm proud of it, and I know David is proud of it as well.
The lovely thing is, you and David are so well known around London, and your friendship's gone on for what's the secret of your friendship, do you think?
It's understanding each other. He knows me, and I understand him. But from the very first day that we ever met, we always vowed to each other that in any difficult situation, we will always sit down and talk to each other.
Yes,
it doesn't matter how difficult it is or how painful the subject matter is. We will always sit down and speak to each other, and we've continued that. And I think that is so important. I think talking, being open with each other is so important, and it just allows you to do so much more. It makes you stronger as people. It makes you stronger as a unit. I just think, you know, talk.
It's brilliant. Now, you always look fantastic. Well, you always look Mr. Fabulous, especially on the red carpet. You know, how long does it take you to get ready? Can you give us any tips on how to look fabulous?
How to look fabulous. I think everybody is fabulous in their own right.
Yeah.
It's how you choose. It's how you choose to express fabulous. I mean, I choose to express fabulous. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get ready. Sometimes I'll have my hair even bigger, more makeup, or sometimes I will be more dressed down. But mainly for red carpets, you know me, Stephen. I'm very, flamboyant, but at the same time, I just, for me as an androgynous gay queer man, I just want to give my kind the visibility that it deserves. And it's took me a while to appreciate and come and understand my identity. And now I feel like I want to go out there, because not only am I representing an LGBTQIA community, I also want to give young South Asians who are in the same position as me a voice. To feel fabulous. Doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter how you choose to be fabulous, you just are.
Now, Jay, talking of red carpet, you have quite a few things coming up. Do you want to share them with us, or can you share them with us? What's the point?
Well, one thing I've learned to do is keep a lot of things now, like cards, close to my chest, because I like to share it later on. However, it's already kind of out there, so I will, well, not out there, you're actually the first to actually hear of this. I've just, I mentioned it in our chat earlier, I've just finished a short film, and it's for the LGBT Film Festival. And that will be coming out, very, very, very soon. And it's, it's a short film about my life, talking about the various stages in my life and where I am now. And I hope that it will help empower, encourage, and inspire others, and to come out and be themselves. So that's something I'm sharing with you. And actually, that's a first. I've not shared that with anybody else.
Listen, Jay, I'm going to ask you this. What makes you happy and smile? When are you happiest?
What makes me happy and smile is the people around me, Stephen. I don't expect to have 1 million friends or blah, blah, blah. Yes, social media is great. You have your followers and blah, blah, blah. However, I have a very small group of friends who are just like, there's a possibly about 10 of them. And these friends are the most wonderful, close people. We have a little, like us, we have our little small community that we always help each other out. And that's what I find most endearing, and I admire that. And that's what keeps me happy, knowing that the little small community that we have within our little media arts world, we can help each other out, and we can help give a platform here or a platform there, and don't feel afraid. And that's what makes me the most happiest, knowing that I can help a fellow friend and see them succeed, and that there's no conflict or bias between us. We're just all proud of each other. It's just like, Stephen, look, you're doing your tea with Stephen, and I must say, I am so proud of you, because you've spoken to some wonderful people, and you're excelling, and for me to be on your show talking to you, I'm proud of you.
And giving someone the chance, giving people a chance to listen to people talk about issues that sometimes aren't covered in chat shows, and at the same time, ramming it down people's throats. And I have to say, you've made us very happy today, Jay. It's been incredible listening to your story and moving, and you're always an inspiration. Thanks so much for coming on.
My pleasure, thank you.
And I can't wait to see the film. Thanks so much.
Yes, you will definitely be invited to that. Thank you.
Thank you for having a cup of tea with me.